James won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Oh yeah. We packing somebody up tonight. Hey. Come on in, take your shoes off before we close the door. Few rules, heat pack in the air, we about to blow. This the basement, ain't nobody safe, you already know. Grab a seat and kick your feet before you get too comfortable. You want the X's and the O's, the trade, yes and no. Friends and the foes, the butlers and the heroes. You can feel it in your soul, but when the ring is the goal. But if somebody need to go, we be sure to let you know. Going hard for my dogs is an everyday thing. Like Jimmy down the lane of 13 off the screen. Whole squad keep it tucked like number 17. Bring your takes and your memes, going hard for the team. Going down in the basement. It's going down in the basement. Get your takes off. Get your takes off. Going down in the basement.
Down. Welcome back, y'all, to the Basement Sports Network post-game show. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo, returning from my one-game suspension from the network after I publicly said Tyler Herro would make the All-Star team this year. But as you see, I'm the host today because we got a relatively successful Tyler Herro night, which means that I took Royal's ass, pushed him to the side, and now he's going to be a panelist for today. So I'm very interested to hear what the guy Royal has to say today. But Royal, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling like I'm about to take this hosting right back from your motherfucking ass. He's talking. Bubba, we can't hear you at all. Bubba, we can't hear you if you're talking. But I feel like I'm finna punch your ass to the moon if you talk about how you push me to the side again. Other than that, I'm fine, bro. Like, I liked this game. So I would get into that more as we talk about it. But I'm cool for the evening. You know, my daughter had senior night tonight. I got to walk her on the field at a high school game. So, yeah, I'm pretty good, bro. I'm pretty good.
Love to hear it. And as you see, we got down below us here with the name 80 more, because I'm sure he's going to take the approach saying this is only game 2. Give it another 20 or 30 or 40 games before he makes a real opinion on this team. We got my guy, Alex Sheltman. Alex, how you doing today, man?
80 more, man. We've seen 4 years of this shit. I don't need 20 or 30 games to analyze this team. It's the same fucking team every single year. I don't know.
So the one thing that I liked coming into this game from the jump, it seemed like there was definitely sort of like a playoff atmosphere, which made it really fun to watch. I felt like for the most part, because this is definitely going to be a grueling 82-game season, as you could tell by Alex's tone there. But I do want to hear your overall takeaways from the game. So, Royal, did you feel that kind of same difference? Did you feel like this Heat wanted it more than typical?
No, I felt like they were out-talented by a better basketball team. The reason that I said that I like this game is because it kind of felt like the formula that we've been pushing for a while. Bam, number 1 option. Tyler, number 2 option. Butler in a supporting role. Now, in my honest opinion, everybody on this roster did their job except for Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler didn't do his job tonight, which is why we lost this game. Bam did his job in terms of the way I feel it. Like, I just liked what Bam was doing. I liked what Tyler was doing, to be honest with you, bro. Like, it wasn't like it didn't feel forced. Gang was shooting more shots than he should have, but he was shooting. And they were good shots most of the time. So I was cool with that. Kyle Lowry did stuff and things and stuff. Like, so you got to take that when you can get it. Yeah, bro. And overall, bro, I think Jimmy Butler was the one person who failed this team. Like, so, no, I don't feel any type of doom and gloom surrounding kind of what I looked at tonight.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too, because it wasn't a very close game, but obviously you didn't get great support from Jimmy Butler. I want to shout out Dan the Philgen. Consistency is key, I guess, even though he's doing his best nasty man impression by saying Ants, number 1, Hayward, Highsmith supporter, DiNardo. That's nasty work, my friend. I do not like that bum. I don't like Highsmith, Drew Smith, any Smith. They all bums. Shout out my uncle Robert Smith, though. He was a good hooper back in his day. I'm not going to lie. But he said, good to see you hosting, my guy, Dan. I appreciate it. And I do appreciate the $5 dono. We also got another $5 dono from our guy, James Todd, who said, Jimmy trolled and we were right there. I don't know. Maybe I should feel some kind of way about this game, but I don't. I just wish we had our full lineup. So that's certainly part of it. Obviously, I agree with the first part you said. Jimmy was straight ass, and you were essentially in it to the very end. So, Alex, did you see any hope because of that? Or are you just saying, get me to the playoffs and we'll see what happens?
No. I do not want this team to make the playoffs. I want this team to miss the playoffs. I don't want this team to make the play-in. The front office needs to learn their lesson, and that will only come by missing the playoffs entirely. And they still might not even learn their lesson. They still might just quadruple down again and just go all in on Duncan Robinson 5.0 when they sign some random ass 2K generated player to the roster next year. And Cole Swider gets a 6-year contract for $874 million from the Jazz or something. There was no playoff atmosphere because Jimmy Butler had like 13 points. If there was a playoff atmosphere for the Celtics, Jimmy Butler would have had 40. He doesn't care during the regular season. If he's not going to care during the regular season, I don't know why anyone cares during the regular season. I just don't. I'm not excited to watch this team at all. They don't get me out of my seat. I was excited to see Bam be aggressive tonight. That's literally the only thing I care about this year is Bam's progression. I will preach that every single time I'm on stream. What did Bam do today? He was aggressive. I like that. Cool. Next game, if he does it again, I will be happy again. The end of the day, this team is going to sleepwalk through the regular season. I am hoping they don't make the playoffs. They probably will because Eric Spoelstra is a genius, and we will all be worse for it.
They would be the 4th seed.
How can you possibly say that though? After seeing how far this team went, like, are you one of those people? Are you gonna tell me right now that missing the playoffs last year would have been more beneficial than making the NBA Finals and everything that comes with it?
100%,
yes, I was. Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Because I remember prior to the playing game that I was saying I need them to miss the playoffs. And I said if they make the playoffs and go on a run, they are going to double down and not learn their lesson. And here we are with Kyle Lowry and Drew Smith as the two options at point guard. And we do not have Donovan Mitchell, who put up 40 points tonight. We do not have Damian Lillard, who put up 39 points the other night. And we do not have any real substantial feeling other than just hoping for the sake of hoping that this team is going to win an NBA championship. And that's cool at the end of the day. They might get there. They might scratch and claw their way to get there again. I am never going to believe in this roster. I don't care. They will have to lift the trophy in front of my face on the bus on Biscayne Boulevard. And I will still tell you that is a dream. I am sleeping. Please do not wake me up.
All right, let me explain to the both of you why that's a dumb take. You over here mad that they don't got Donovan Mitchell, they don't got Dame. I'm with you. I was very pissed off last night, like a lot of Heat fans were, watching Kelly Oubre have a damn near perfect game and Dame scoring 40 points with the help of the officiating. I do get it. But do you think if the Heat would have missed the playoffs, this team would have still been attractive to those stars? I think making the finals makes the organization as a whole look more attractive to other people out there because it shows them that they are a team capable of putting around the other pieces to make a successful team.
Let me stop you right there. That does not matter because they were attracted to Bradley Beal and did not want him. They were attractive to Damian Lillard and did not get him. They were attractive to Christian Wood and Kelly Oubre and chose to wait until they had Damian Lillard, who they did not get. So you can't say that makes them more attractive. They've been attractive. People want to come here. The front office just doesn't give a fuck. And neither does Mickey Arison. They're just going to say, fuck it. We're going to take the cheapest route to contention, which is putting bums on a roster with Jimmy and Bam and letting Spo coach them into actual NBA players. That is not a recipe for a championship. I'm just talking about tonight. It looked the way that I would prefer for this garbage version of this team to look. Bam Adebayo leading the way, Tyler Herro being able to do whatever he wants on offense, Jimmy Butler as the third, ideally filling in, and Kyle Lowry doing something. Like, I'm going to take away those things from tonight. Like, they did something. Like, do I believe that they're going to go to the finals? Not a chance. But, I mean, like, look, dog, like, I'm not finna sit up here and lament the team all season long. It is what it is, dog. I know what it is. But might as well just try and enjoy the ride along the way.
Well, speaking of bums, our guy Alex brings up a good point about those G Leaguers. He says it a lot nicer, but we know when he says G Leaguers, we talking about the bums. So shout out to Alex with the $5 dono. He says, this loss is on Spo for messing around with the G League rotations. Best conditioned team can't stay on the floor tonight. That's certainly something that really aggravated me because you saw the whole Celtics big four, big five, whatever you want to call it, out there for the whole fourth quarter. You saw Jimmy come in when it was too little, too late. You were hoping he'd have some sort of fresh legs that the other guys didn't have, and we just didn't see it. And before we get to LJ's
thoughts
on the game, who just joined us, I want to get to Scale Daddy for the $10 dono. Thank you for that.
That's the nasty man.
He said, oh, Darius Jordan. Welcome to the show, my guy. Mexican Jimmy showed his Pollo Frito side today. Cam Whitmore would have put Drew in the bleachers. I'm not a huge Cam Whitmore guy because I certainly love my Jaime Jaquez Jr., who didn't do shit today. We'll get into that later.
I'm just going to say, just for the brand, I got to be honest. The Houston Rockets right now are up 109 to 108 on San Antonio Spurs. Cam Whitmore has not entered the game, and there's 35 seconds left in the game. So just want to put
No. I'm taking speaking of the brand, I'm going to take one out of our good friend Kendall's book. It's about what Cam Whitmore would have been on this team with Eric Spoelstra as his coach.
I'm glad the panel just keeps growing.
First, the last time that he drafted a guy that slipped in the draft that they did no research on whatsoever was Justice Winslow, and he pretty much sucked except out of the 40 games that he played point guard. We got another $5 dono from Dan the Film Gen, then we're going to pass the rock around a little bit. He said, breaking news, the Heat announced they will retire Derek White's jersey on the random scrub Heat killers. Should have done it in the playoffs. That's an excellent segue because I'm going to go ahead and toss it to our guy, LJ, right now, the host of the amazing Random Scrub Heat podcast. Those guys do a great job over there, so shout out to them. LJ, tell me one, if you wish this team would have had Cam Whitmore, and tell me number two, if your thoughts on the game overall, and shout out to New, who just joined us as well.
Cam Whitmore wouldn't have made a shit of a difference for this team because Spo wouldn't have played him anyway. I heard as soon as I jumped in, I saw that Alex said that Spo is a scientist. No, the fuck he is not. He played Drew Smith 23 minutes tonight, and he was a -18. That ain't no astrophysicist. That's a dumbass. I love Spo, but what the fuck, man? I understand that you don't have Jay Rich, right? You don't have Haywood. You don't have someone else that would probably take away some backcourt minutes. You have RJ Hampton on the bench, and I refuse to say that Drew Smith is a better option than that. He's not. He's not. He doesn't provide defense. He was getting hunted by Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum the entire game, although Jason Tatum take a shot every time Tatum hooks or pushes off, and you're going to be fucking dead by like the 8-minute mark in the first quarter. You'll have alcohol poisoning before the first buzzer. Like, I'm not going to get into that. The refs sucked cock and balls tonight. It was atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. That's not why
the Howard combo, he says.
If you'd like to see more of what LJ's talking about, Royal put out a great tweet with a pretty decent website for that on the Twitter. Just
yeah, man. I'll shout it out. You can literally go to X and XX. You could go to X Hamster. You could go to RedTube. You could go to Pornhub. You can go wherever you want. I'm ripping them out the hat. I just don't understand how Spo wanted to show pornography on primetime television tonight, but in all the wrong ways. Like it was brutal. It was just brutality. But aside from that, I don't even know where else to go. It's annoying. It's really annoying that you're seeing kind of the same thing. I just wanted to ask you guys, are you having fun yet? Because Alex's name says it. We got 80 more crunch time games. And
hopefully not a single one more than that.
Guys,
I'm in a different boat than that personally. I'm really just annoyed with fucking Osama bin Derek White because that terrorist deserves no time on my screen. He has spent the better part of the last calendar year terrorizing me, and that's enough to classify as a terrorist. And I'm tired of him personally. Oh my
you
God.
said it right. That is him. You can damn sure say that again.
26 points. What was it? I think it might have been more than 26.
Yeah, 28.
I had to gouge my eyes out after the 26.
27.
So I didn't see anything after that. But
no, Jaylen Brown had 27. He had 28.
Guys, it makes sense that White deserved to be the highest scoring player on that team tonight. You really did.
Can we please give it to game 20 of year 5 before we start like really criticizing this team?
You're right. No, we
do
need to
that?
wait to see what they do with Kyle Lowry at the deadline again if they move that contract.
As
Because
I'm gonna
that's
go
what
ahead
I'm
and
waiting
bring-
on. We're not allowed to judge until then.
Bring Kendall up here too. We'll get to him after a second. After I got to speak to New for a second because I was watching the last stream while I was. Yes, there you go. Get everything back in order here. I know my place, whether I'm hosting or not. I was watching the last stream while I was suspended from the network, and I heard New put a lot of blame on Jimmy Butler. And at the time, I did not agree with it because I thought he was fine. I thought he did enough. But this game, my God, was he ass. And I completely agree with what you're probably thinking. So go ahead and share your thoughts overall on the game today, New.
Listen, Jimmy Butler trick y'all. Jimmy Butler don't trick me. But that's not even where I'm gonna go with this because this is what Jimmy Butler do. Like, did anybody really think Jimmy Butler was gonna like come out and have like a crazy game to like? It's no way y'all thought that. The dude hasn't played basketball good since the Knicks series. Like for real. Like that was 8 months. How many months ago? Like I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that this team is primed to play 80 more clutch games, like Alex says, his name says, and it's just gonna be what it is. They're gonna win some, they're gonna lose some. Like it just is what it is. Nothing they do can surprise me anymore. I'm not gonna get upset. I'm lying. I'm probably gonna get upset at some stuff. But like, I'm just not emotionally invested. Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler. It's gonna be cool. He'll have some good games where he'll find his way to 12 free throws, so the 8 shots don't look so bad. So it'll be 20 shots. 20 points, whatever. And then he'll have nights like this where it doesn't look like he cares to play basketball. But if they make it to the playoffs, he'll have a couple good series and he'll continue to trick y'all. Not me, y'all. I know his bag.
I'm familiar with
Kendall.
this game.
Couple questions for you, man. One, your overall thoughts on the game tonight. And two, do you want to miss the playoffs like Mr. Alex Sheltman? And it sounds like New as well.
Well, I'll do the easy question first. Do I want to miss the playoffs, brother? I want chaos. However that comes, that's what I need. If that means we have chaos and we beat the 1 seed again as the A seed and we go to a finals again and we destroy other people's season who are true contenders on paper, so be it. If that means, I don't want to say the knee explosion for anybody, but if it means like injuries derail us and we're like very bad and we're like trending toward the lottery, so be it. My fandom has been disrespected and to a level in which like I just can't I can't even fathom the shit. It like makes me sick. So I don't really have a stance on where I want to be real overall, but tonight's game, I just think that he got beat by a better team and the quote unquote best player wasn't in tune. He wasn't doing nothing. He was just vibing out there. If Jimmy can't find that mismatch like right away off a switch, he gonna pound that hoe for like 8 more seconds to try to get it. And then that's when it get ugly. And then it's like Bam standing in the dunker spot and the ball get back to Kyle Lowry. And it's like so we can start moving the ball somewhere, or Tyler too sometimes. But yeah, I just think we got beat by a better team, like a more talented team. I would say that better would be determined in the playoffs, but Boston is clearly more talented. Derek White masterclass. And I just think it was a sign. Jimmy Butler getting blocked the second time, like, told me a lot. It's like, brother, like,
Come on now.
Hey, listen, it could be whatever it is, but it ain't. It wasn't. So like they didn't call it that. So it's like I'm not doing all that. Why we pointing to watches or a wrist.
Because when you said it,
He was slapping his wrist, so I started pointing to my wrist.
I was like,
He got hacked across the arm. Come on, let's be fair to him.
Somebody's time somewhere.
Nah, it was a foul.
Oh,
It was
okay.
It was a foul. Cool.
I didn't see
but
I didn't see the replay. Yeah, I didn't see the replay. So
Yeah,
I'll
like,
take
it's
that
like-
word for it.
It was a foul, but bro, like that didn't.
He was
coasting.
coasting.
He was getting locked up, bro. Like it wasn't like he was playing well.
And he
that
was
one
coasting.
guy. Yeah,
He was coasting on the fast break. That's what my issue is. Like he got hawked down because he was coasting. Like, and yeah, I find it funny that y'all point to the wrist because it's like, yeah, we know what that means, but I'm just here to tell all Heat fans, be in tune with the basement main account because while the rest of the basketball world may be saying Dame time, it's pain time for us. Whenever a masterclass from Damian Lillard will commence, we will sound the alarms and let it know and let our fan base know it's pain time. So get away from the TVs. Make sure you stay away from that.
Bro, listen, the funniest part is people gonna tell us all season to move on, and we're going to be like, no.
Ain't no more.
Like,
That's my favorite
I
player.
will
So
not be doing that.
Y'all stuck with it from me.
You will be hearing me yell about the front office until I am dead.
Seeing
What's
what
up, bro?
Dame did last night, Royal, did that make you feel any type of way, one way or another?
no, because like he doesn't play for the Miami Heat. But like I feel the same way that I felt the entire time. Look, front office, this is what type of player you need on this basketball team. Like, but they don't feel the need to do that. So they trot these guys out. So I watch these guys. The people on the Miami Heat are the people that make me feel stuff. Players that are not on the Heat, I admire them from afar. So like I've never had Dame Lillard on my team. I just always thought it'd be nice to have. So when he's over there doing it for Milwaukee, I still believe that would be nice to have. But I don't. I have Drew Smith and I have Kyle Lowry. Tonight was good, Kyle Lowry. Why can't we talk about that? Because I don't want to talk about that.
Because I bet the under.
How did Tyler Herro make you feel tonight, Royal? You could say you got Big 14 tonight.
Listen,
Let's go ahead and start.
I'm not saying it, but you could
say.
say that.
Hang on.
Wait a minute. I got you. Hold on. Wait.
No, Royal. Let me help you out here.
Back there.
Through 2 games, Tyler Herro is averaging 22 points per game on 21 and a half shots per game.
Come on now. Good.
That's all I'm saying.
To his costume change. Let's go ahead and shout out Dan the Film Gent for another $5 dono who said, speaking of playing time, I think Ant need to shave his head bald like Derek White to get that insurance contract. My guy. I've heard a lot of people say shave the mustache. That I might do one day. Shaving the head, that is something I'll never do, as I'll stall and look for, as I think someone put it up. Our ad from our primary sponsor of the Basement Sports Network. Thank you for the lob, Dan the Film Gent. That is Simple Health Advisors. Listen, insurance doesn't have to be complicated. If anybody's out there in the market looking for some insurance, there's no better place to go than our guy, James Pugh. Make sure to give him a call, as I can't see the number, but if I haven't memorized.
321-345-7738.
That's right. I still got it memorized. I'm in mid-season form. Or you can email him at jpugh@simplehealthadvisors.com. So make sure y'all check that out. We also got the QR code in the bottom right, which may be covered up at this moment, but when we have this panelist, it'll be there. But yeah, make sure y'all go check it out down there. I want to challenge everyone for the rest of this show, or for the next segment at least, to find one positive thing from this game, at least whether it's from a tonight that don't mean shit the rest of the season, or from an outlook going forward that could be looked at as beneficial. We'll start with you, Alex.
The Miami Heat are 1 loss closer to a lottery pick.
He drew the line in the sand, and he's sticking with it. I respect it. I disagree with it, but I respect the hell out of it.
Listen, I came in and I told you my narrative. I told you what I want. I want this team to fail so they will be greater in the long term. That is my goal.
Are we on Cooper?
Whether or not that happens,
who's number 1 this year? Is it? I don't know.
I don't care who goes number 1 or not.
Person on this team, I can't do it.
Yes.
If this fucking team drafts Cooper Flag, all right, you've seen the last of me. I can tell you that. I won't be here talking about that many. All right.
If you want me to give an actual positive on the game. Bam Adebayo had 2 blocks. That will greatly help his Defensive Player of the Year candidacy, because the people that vote on that do not care about anything but box score stats, and that is a box score stat. And I need Bam to be eligible for the Supermax contract by winning Defensive Player of the Year, so he can rob the front office. Well, not rob the front office. Actually, he'd be earning that money on his own. But yes, Mickey Arison paying that will make him mad, and I want Mickey Arison to be mad.
He will never win that award as long as he's on the Miami Heat. No, try to find one positive thing to say about this game. I don't care if it's the smallest thing.
Drew Smith shot over 50% from the field. I'm just saying.
You know, I didn't believe earlier when someone said he was a minus 18. That is a wild statistic.
You told me to be positive. I found the positive. You're putting a negative light on that. He was 35.
Even if you are cooking.
Did all 6 of us here scream no at the top of our lungs when he shot that pull-up transition 3 in the first half?
100%.
Absolutely not. You know why? Because I believe in fairness across the board. If Tyler Herro can do it,
well, I tell you what.
If Tyler can shoot 9 shots in the first quarter, why Drew can't shoot 1?
Like, the Samoan can do it too.
Y'all see that he pointed at his wrist after?
Did you just call Drew Smith the Rock?
Anyone else see that?
You just called Drew Smith for Uso? You just called this man Roman Reigns out here? Yeah. Umaga?
What they call him? The tribal chief or something like that?
Yeah, bro. The Tua Tagovailoa.
Hey, man. Better keep it respectful with my guy. That's all I'm saying. LJ.
Disrespect him as much as you want.
Oh, we got a $2 dono from Mendels Isma that says, I really want Bam to start pulling up for 3 wide open. I certainly thought it was very frustrating at the end of the game. It seemed like Porzingis was dropping 16 feet off him in the paint, and Bam's over there looking back, looking for some white to pass it to, and none of them motherfuckers wanted to shoot or make any clutch shots. But enough. We're going to get to some more frustrating later. I want to get some of the nice stuff out of the way. LJ, do you have anything positive to say about tonight's game?
Absolutely. This is the second game in a row where Bam's looked very, very good on offense. He's doing what he does on defense. Bam is aggressive for back-to-back games. But then again, you saw that last year to start, and then he got kind of burnt out after the All-Star break. So it remains to be seen whether or not it'll stay consistent. But I've loved his touch in the paint. It looks like his touch in the paint's gotten a lot better in the Nugget series. That really pissed me off because he would get right to the cup and then just miss bunny after bunny after bunny. He's looked pretty good this year in that regard. So we're going to look for positives. We're going to take him where we can get him. I really am encouraged with Bam's offensive game. Jimmy still won't pass him the ball for shit, but that's okay. That's never been there. So you're not losing anything. It's status quo, which the Miami Heat love status quo.
We got a $1.99 dono from V21 who says, what's stopping Bam from going wherever Spider goes? Truthfully, I think that's an interesting point because we always think about these guys coming here, but what happens if the front office keeps fucking around being cheap? Maybe these guys goes elsewhere. Kendall, I want to hear a positive from you and also answer the question. Do you think there's any chance Bam could just get fed up and ask out in a year or two?
I've already put that plan in motion last year at the beginning of the season. I said all that Heat lifer shit that they, in the culture carrier that they are trying to push on that man will go to, it's going to fall on deaf ears at some point. We're not at that point yet. It would be in Mickey's best interest that he's eligible for a Supermax extension because then you will definitely be in the lottery. And what was your other question?
Well, can you find a positive from tonight's game?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Who didn't say something about somebody? I don't know. I just think the team played well, except for Jimmy Butler. That's a positive. And, yeah, they just lost. Anyone in particular? I will say this. I'll give this little motherfucker credit. Tyler Herro is a little bit better defensively. It's some marginal improvement, especially as a weak side or off-ball defender or a help defender. He jumped in some passing lane. He's starting to read defenses and pick up on things. And that's where it'll end.
Yeah, I noticed he had a couple steals. I don't know if lucking into a few steals is enough for me to say he's better defender yet, but I'm noticing what you're seeing. I
Off
hope if
ball,
it's
off ball, off ball.
yeah, I'm hoping if it's a trend that continues, then
Yeah.
okay, maybe he has improved defensively. Royal, what is the most frustrating thing that you saw from tonight's game?
I ain't even get to give my positives, bro.
Well, because I want to hear.
You
Go
don't
ahead.
want me to be positive too, bro? I'm the person who get the most flack for being negative. Well,
Say
not the
something
most.
nice about Tyler Herro.
I will not. But I will tell you that Bam Adebayo calling Kristaps Porzingis a pussy moved me. I loved it all game long. He was attacking that whole ass nigga the whole game, and I just loved every minute of it. I got a couple of positives. Duncan Robinson still shot the ball like an average NBA player tonight, and I would like to make sure that I give him credit whenever he does that because I'm going to give him flack when he does it. Kevin Love shot okay. Kyle Lowry is my biggest positive from the night, bro. He did what we've been hoping that he does, bro, which is get points. Yes, they are nasty, disgusting, cheating points, but he got them. And I don't care. Like, I just want him to be effective. Last positive, Jaime Jaquez was humbled this evening. Today, he was humbled on the court. That is a good thing for the Miami Heat, and that's a good thing for fans. You can't have him coming in here thinking that he just going to seamlessly fit and he's an automatic rotation player. Jit still got some work to do, and tonight they showed like a little bit of the things that he need to work on. He still needs to get stronger. Because Drew Smith had him in hell. Not Drew Smith, but Drew Holiday had him in hell.
I don't see how Jaquez being bad is a good thing. I understand you want to be humble a little bit, but of course the one positive you say, or not the one positive, you did talk about Bam a little bit too, which I want to get into because I love seeing him make Porzingis his bitch. Porzingis is an awful defender. He's a good shot blocker, bad defender. There's a difference. Bam could take it into his chest every single time that he wants to, and we saw it again with Bam tonight. He must have had double-digit free throw attempts. He finished with 9, but I think that's still something that we all like to see. And attacking him, that's why the Porzingis signing for the Celtics didn't move me, because Bam owns him consistently. And we saw that again today. But for every point Bam scored, Porzingis got a layup because he was matched on Drew Smith or Tyler Herro or something like that. That to me was the most frustrating part, because once again, we saw Spo switch absolutely everything, and you were left with those mismatches. And I felt like because of that, Porzingis really killed us tonight. Only 17 points, though, which does shock me, but he had some pretty timely buckets. So we'll come back to Alex here. What did you think was the most frustrating thing from tonight?
We lost on paper before the game started. Like Kendall said, like the Boston Celtics are a more talented team. And unless you have every single player on the roster playing like it's playoff basketball, which they're not going to do in October, then you need a lot of shit to go your way. And they didn't have a lot of shit go their way. And the result is a loss. I mean, it's frustrating to watch the same players, the same core of players, do the same thing for 4 to 5 years straight. Think of how much turnover there is in the NBA year by year. And we are sitting here with basically the same 5-ish players for the last 4 years. Like, that is almost unheard of, except in the case of like the Warriors, who are like winning titles still. So I don't know, man. Like, yes, it's frustrating. I don't really know if there's one thing in particular. It's probably just Jimmy not giving a shit about basketball until April every single year. I would like Jimmy to actually care about basketball prior to the All-Star break, and I just don't think that's ever going to happen.
So you're frustrated by these guys not caring in October, the very early or beginning of the season. So I want to go to Nu on this as well, because she brought this up earlier when she's talking about how Jimmy won't trick her, but come playoff time, come, finals time, whatever it is, he always does show out. Why the hell do y'all care what they do in the regular season if time and time again they prove it in the playoffs? Like, for Nu, how is Jimmy tricking me if every time the games matter, he actually performs?
Because he doesn't perform every time the games matter. You watched the finals, Alex, did you not? I meant Ant. I didn't mean Alex. Got my whites mixed up. Sorry.
Yeah, not all white people look the same.
No, I mean, I get it. Yeah,
no,
I watched
like,
the NBA
seriously,
finals,
you watched the
I twisted
finals.
up more to the ankle, but it could just be me giving excuses. We'll never know.
We will never know, but he wasn't particularly good versus Boston. He wasn't good in the finals. So I don't understand how you can say every time the games matter, he shows up. He doesn't. We have not won a ring with Jimmy Butler. And listen, let me be very clear. I don't think Jimmy Butler is a bad basketball player. I don't like. I'm not stupid. Like I understand very clearly. Jimmy Butler is a good basketball player, but Heat fans treat him like he's in the Dwayne Wade, LeBron James echelon of players in our history, and he isn't. That's what my bone of contention is with like the way people view Jimmy. Jimmy Butler is not above criticism. Like Jimmy Butler has not won a ring for this franchise. This is what, as a fan, you want. I'm not a fan, so I could say, hey, my team made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Or hey, my team made it to the finals and didn't score 100 points in a single finals game, but they won one. Like, that's not what I'm a fan for. Like, I said in the spaces a while ago, they call their locker room, they call that hallway Championship Alley. They don't call that Eastern Conference Finals Alley. Like, you're telling me all the time you want to win a ring, Jimmy, so I hold you to that expectation. There are fan bases that would be, you're absolutely, people be like, oh, well, y'all are spoiled. There are fan bases that would be happy to make this, that, and the third. That's fine. Like, I'm not a fan of those teams for a reason. Like, I'm not a Knicks fan for a reason. Like, I'm not a Sacramento Kings fan for a reason. Like, this stuff, to me, I want to see my team win championships. And Jimmy Butler is a great player, but we haven't won a ring with him.
Well, I want to first.
He just had a dunk. I had to.
No, I saw it. That's why I
don't even know what team he's on. Was it Sacramento or some shit?
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to start by saying, New, I agree with you. If you ask me if Jimmy Butler's tenure with the Heat has been a success, the answer is no, because his goal year in and year out is to win a championship. If you don't win the championship, that's a failure. I don't care how close you are. His tenure here has been a failure. But I can say without a doubt in my mind, he can be the best player on a championship team. Do you not agree with that?
Hasn't done it yet?
Because he hasn't done it.
I want to piggyback off that.
What do you got?
If Jimmy Butler is going to the podium post game in the finals, before the games start, before the finals even starts, after the games, and Jimmy Butler is telling you it is a failure when we do not win the finals, he himself is saying that. Why do we continually, year in and year out, and this is a rhetorical question because I really do not care, have fans on Twitter in these very comments right here tell us that the Eastern Conference Finals and getting to the finals is good enough? If your best player is telling you that it's not good enough and you're sitting here telling me that it's good enough, I don't care what you think. Like, he agrees with me. He wants to win. I want to win. So you telling me, like New said, they do not call it Eastern Conference Final Alley. I don't care about that shit. I don't care about how many playoff wins they've had in the last 4 years. I want to win a title. And end of discussion. Win the championship.
So I think this is an interesting question. So I'm going to throw this to Kendall here. If you want to share your most frustrating part about tonight's game, you can do that too. But I think most of us don't care. We're sitting here year 5. Do you think Jimmy Butler can be the best player on a championship team?
Well, I would start with the most frustrating thing. My man Just the Bless was in the comments, and he dropped the eyes emojis on it and said, "Are we going to talk about 10 of 24 from Bam Adebayo?" I don't know if that's the boy wonder cape he has on. I'll talk about it. Yeah, that was a little frustrating. I think he missed 3 shots that he should have made. It was a floater in the lane. He missed one driving to the lane. 2 layup driving to the lane, 1 to the left and 1 to the right. Okay, so that was frustrating. But he also had 27 played elite defense, but we already know the rest of that story.
And shot 9 free throws too.
Shot 9 free throws, yeah, by the way. And he missed 2 of them, so that's also frustrating. With no downhill guard attacking from anybody. So yeah, that's also frustrating. But somehow still ISO created his own offense, still frustrating. But
I guess a defender who has at least 6 inches on him.
Yeah, correct. And multiple 6'8" guys around him, and all defensive guy in Drew Holiday.
Best defensive backcourt probably in the league.
Yeah, probably, But Jimmy Butler being the best player on a championship team, brother, absolutely fucking not. Fuck no, he can't. Can he be the best player in the final series? For sure. Yes. He could be the best player on a finals appearing team because he's done it. He did it last year. No, I wouldn't give him 2019. The 2020 run. I wouldn't just give him the clear cut best player. That was a team run. It was very Detroit Pistons esque. We had different players in different series being the lead guy, including Bam in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think Jimmy Butler's game it doesn't give me he could be the best player like on the championship team. And in the championship, you put more stock into offense. Like you just have to, because that's just what it is. Like Jokic, Steph, Giannis, LeBron, like those have been the last Kawhi, like the last 4 or 5 Finals MVPs. Like they're except Steph, like decent to good. Who?
KD.
Oh yeah, KD.
Like
Like
AD.
good to decent defenders. Decent from Steph all the way to very good in Kawhi. But Jimmy he can't offensively. He just doesn't have that. Like, bro, he can't be the best player on the championship team for one reason and one reason only. Him and the second best player on the team can't even play off each other. They've been playing together for 5 years. In terms of whether it's been a failure, even though you didn't ask me that I disagree with, because when Jimmy Butler got here, brother, listen, no way in hell I thought I was going to see 2 NBA Finals runs. Like with these type of rosters, absolutely not. If you told me, okay, we're going to get him and add somebody, then I would have believed in it. But yeah, I think it's been a failure since post bubble. Like since his first year, everything after that has been a failure. Because that's when I think, like, once they showed you that they could get to a finals, like with 3 guys and Jimmy, Bam, and Goran being the top 3 players and them like interchanging through series, like you had to go get somebody who you knew could be the best player like for 2 series. And they never did that. At least, somebody that could be a 1-2 punch with like Jimmy, and also then build a big 3 with Bam. I mean, it was nothing wrong with that point. There was no duos at that point. Well, kind of the duo shit started. But Bam was still young. But he can be the best player. Like if he doesn't make Bam a better basketball player on the offensive end. And that alone, no, absolutely not. I would rather James Harden on my team than Joel Embiid. Like it's not even a debate. I saw Joel Embiid like spike a basketball yesterday, like to try to pass it. Like he like punched it with his knuckles or some shit. But yeah, Jimmy, he's not that guy. He can't be that guy.
I mean, you bring up some interesting points. I was reading the LJ. I think his cam's broken. You bring up some interesting points, obviously, but I find it hard to agree with that because we sit here and for the most part, 99% of the time, we criticize everyone around Jimmy. We say he has no help. And I know one of the news main talking points is he was shit in the Boston series after the Grant Williams game. What do you got, Kendall?
I just got to stop you right there. Well, I don't know. I never say Jimmy has no help because Jimmy's help is Kyle Lowry. That's his mess.
That's
his choice. He stamped him. He brought him in.
Yeah, if you want to talk from a roster building standpoint, I've always blamed Jimmy for that Kyle Lowry thing. I haven't given Pat as much slack for that. But for the most part, a lot of people blame the guys around Jimmy. News main point is he was kind of shit in the Boston series and the NBA Finals. I don't think that's a coincidence that he got hurt in the Knicks series. That's why I'm personally giving him a pass for that. Excuse or not, we'll never know. So I feel like it's a dumb point to argue whether that affected him. But essentially in every series outside of that, he's been amazing. If LJ's here, I want to get his thoughts on that, on kind of where he lies on the whole spectrum of if Jimmy can be the best player on a championship team.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, no, you're not going to keep skipping these black people. New put her hand up, so I want to let New get her point off before, and then I'm going.
LJ hasn't spoken like 15 minutes, so excuse me for trying to stand up. LJ
host a podcast. He can do that, brother. You have just got your hosting privileges revoked.
Everyone here disagree. Go first.
I'll let you have 44 minutes, gang. Get your ass from up there. I'll let you have 44 minutes, gang. You did a great job. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this home. Go ahead, New.
It's just the thing with Jimmy that really pisses me off. Like, and this is just it's brief. Is that like you don't have the cachet to tell me the regular season don't matter, bro. Like, you've never won nothing. Like, I'm watching Stephen Curry like play his heart out right now to like carry his team. This is a 3-time NBA champion, a 2-time, like the only four-time NBA champion, the only unanimous MVP in NBA history. And every time he's on the court, he's giving it his all from game 1 to game whatever until he's playing. LeBron James, the oldest player in the NBA, he's like, the man is 50. He giving it his all every night. He on the court.
Like, that shit was amazing.
He used the last bit of nitrous he had to steal that pass that KD threw in the fourth quarter. Like, because it means something to him. Like, we see players who Jimmy Butler will never be on their level in terms of their status in NBA history play. And Jimmy Butler gets to tell me that, I don't care about basketball till after the All-Star break. Like, nah, bro, that's disrespectful. And as Miami Heat fans, it's on us to stop thinking that junk is cute and like, nah, that junk not cute to me, bro. It's not cute to me that you show up to a game when we're losing and you taking your braids out like this is that's not funny to me. Like people, like, I see people better than you care. So who you think you are that you think you've never won nothing, you just don't get to care? To me personally, as a fan, I don't like it.
And I just want to piggyback off what Nu said, and something I never really got into the Jimmy Butler antics, but something that bothered me was last year when in the playoff run when he said he probably wouldn't go to the Basketball Hall of Fame. It, like, once he gets inducted, like, that's a slap in the face to the Miami Heat. I'm not gonna lie to you, because they changed that broke nigga life. Like that meme that go around, like, the Heat changed Jimmy Butler's life. And I seen someone, it was Harry. He said that Jimmy is a better basketball player than Dame. Like, and I just saw that, like, no, he's not. I think the Heat, like, stamp and what they've done for Jimmy Butler has been so much. Like, to hear something like that you're not gonna go to the, like, Hall of Fame, bro. Like, the Heat put you in the Hall of Fame, like, more, like, it accelerated you at least, like, and they stamped you and made you a surefire guy. And yeah, so it's just like, you don't have, that's not cool for you to, like, not care. And for fans to feed into it is weird, because, like, that's not how you got to who you became.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't really give a shit, like, about none of that, really. I think when I first began to think that Jimmy Butler, or when I first knew that Jimmy Butler couldn't be the best player on the championship team, was this summer when he was caping to add Dame Lillard to it. I think Jimmy knows Dame is a better player than him, and I think that was him kind of relenting and just kind of like saying, okay, I can't do this without somebody else who's better than me to kind of like lead the team.
Ant shaking his head, no, how is that not?
The reason that I partially wanted to start back hosting was because I wanted to get Ant's perspective, because the entire panel is against him, and I want to give him the floor to, like, let him explain this. So I'm gonna go to LJ first, like he was trying to do. Ask LJ if he thinks Jimmy could be whatever it is, the best player on the championship team, and then I'll let Ant round us out on this conversation before I move us along.
I think if you get the right player, he can be. That it's really that simple. I mean, if you get a clear-cut player better than Jimmy Butler, yes, you can definitely win a title with Jimmy being your second best option. But
that's not the question.
No, I answered the question. I'm just saying I think it's more likely that you win a championship if Jimmy Butler's your second best player. Like, I think the odds increase way more in your favor if Jimmy's number 2. I think if you get the right type of player, like if they got Brad Beal and Mickey wasn't such a piece of shit, I feel like the Heat have a pretty good opportunity adding a 3-level scorer like that to be able to have a better chance at winning the championship if Jimmy's their best player. I don't think that they absolutely can with Jimmy being their best player. I think you need the right piece to fit in.
Can I ask a question before you go, Ant? What is your definition of being the best player on the championship team? Because my definition is from day 1, game 1 of the regular season, all the way to winning the chip.
That's not my definition. But
who's the best player? Not the best player in the playoffs. Who's the best player on your team? Like, how
from
you got
your championship run? Yes.
To me, I don't value the regular season. To me, the best players play best when the games matter. I'll put Jimmy Butler over James Harden for their careers. I'll argue that till I die, because every time they get to the playoffs, James Harden is shit. But if you ask most people, they go say James Harden's better player than Jimmy Butler. He's
Let me
not.
ask you a question. Do you use MVPs as kind of like a criteria for judging like who if a player is better than another one? Like, would you say that a player is better than another player because they have more MVPs?
I certainly put stock into that, but I put the most stock
That's-
into the biggest performances in the biggest games.
Yeah, if you put stock into MVPs, that's a regular season award, which means you have to care about the regular season.
Yeah, but I'm saying I put the most stock into the games that matter. The percentage that I value the regular season is very small in comparison to what I value in the playoffs.
Sure, I think that's the same for everybody, but to put no stock in the regular season doesn't feel like.
Well, let me
it
go
feels
into this.
I
Am
got
I
you. Hold
alone
on.
here? Am I alone here
What?
in saying that Jimmy Butler is a better player than as we got a $5 dono from HM who said after last year's ECF and finals, Jimmy is our best player behind Bam, in my opinion. Behind Bam. So he has him at number 2. I get that. Bam was the best player in the finals. But am I alone here in believing that Jimmy Butler? Am I alone here in believing that Jimmy Butler is better than Damian Lillard? Am I alone here on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
you are alone.
if New wants to sit here and say, "Oh, Jimmy's never won a ring. Jimmy can't do what the greats do, like LeBron and Curry and them." What the hell has Dame done? Dame barely gets out of the first round. Went to the Western Conference Finals once in his career. That shit was damn near 10 years ago. What the fuck has he done? And you want to sit here and say he's better than Jimmy Butler, who has carried his team to the NBA Finals twice in the last 4 seasons?
He didn't carry them to. Okay, so he didn't carry them to. That's the thing. The narrative surrounding Jimmy Butler and what he's done for Miami has been skewed based off of one playoff run or 2 very good playoff runs. He did not carry them to the NBA Finals in that first season. Goran Dragic was our leading scorer, and that, like Kendall alluded to earlier, in the bubble, that was a team effort that got us to the finals.
Bam was Jimmy the best player in the ECF.
Yeah, Jimmy was absolutely our best player in the finals when we got there, and that's cool. Jimmy Butler's greatest playoff run did not result in him leading his team to a finals. We got to the Eastern Conference Finals, and he missed the shot that would have sent us to the finals. He carried that playoff run, but he missed the shot that would have sent us to the finals. Last year, Jimmy Butler carried us for exactly 1 1/4 round of the playoffs. And then the rest of it was a team effort that got us to the NBA Finals. So to put this all on Jimmy, like he is the reason that we're getting to these finals year in and year out, no, he is part of our real big 3, which is he, Bam, and Eric John Spoelstra. Like that is who's getting us to the finals. It's not just Jimmy, so I'm not going to sit here and let anybody attribute everything that we do to Jimmy Butler. He is a piece to what we do, brother, not the piece.
You sit here and say that Bam was the best player in the finals for the Heat, right? So therefore, he's better than Jimmy Butler. We had that comment. You seem to agree with it from our guy HM. But in 2020, who was the best player on the whole damn court? It was Jimmy Butler. But now you discrediting that when I try to come here and say that he carried us.
It was LeBron James.
LeBron James was the better in 2020.
Then Jimmy was the best player on the Heat. You can argue.
Sure. Jimmy, I said that though. Jimmy Butler was our best player in the finals in 2020. But to say that he carried us to the finals is incorrect. He did not carry us to the finals. He was just
my
the best
argument
player
was
once we got
against
to the
Dame.
finals.
What the hell has Dame done? What's
First
he
of
done?
First of all, you brought me into this. I call both of them career losers. So, and Dale, my bad, my brother. Respectfully, I know that's your guy, but like, like I've stated it all along. They are both career losers. That doesn't mean that I can say one loser is better than the other. I believe that if Damian Lillard put Damian Lillard on that team last year that Miami had, where everybody played out of their mind in the finals, I believe we win the finals. That's my belief. With Bam playing the way that he played in the finals and Damian Lillard, that's a formidable 1-2 punch for what you got from Nikola Jovic and Jamal Murray. I'm taking Dame over Jamal Murray every single day. Bam did not play Jovic to a tie, but Bam was good enough as a 1B to win that series. Dame would have made everybody else around them better. Jimmy walked through the finals. Like his best quarter was like his best half was game 5, the second half, and it was too little, too late. Like I cannot say Jimmy Butler is just this all-time better player when he hasn't been, like Dale said, he hasn't even been looked at in high regards till he got to Miami. Like
that's why
he was a problem child in Minnesota. They made the playoffs once. He went to Philly. He had that cute little run. They got put out, but like Jimmy Butler did not get on this stature until he got to Miami.
And I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Like I put a lot of value, like, and I'm not being biased, like, because I'm a Dame fan. But like I think Harden and Jimmy are on the same level because of all the things Harden has accomplished, like as a one, like just solely putting a franchise on his back and elevate. Like Harden he drug Houston up out the fucking gutter, bro. Like what was
1000%.
Houston? Like Houston was in the
OKC sent him there to die.
You feel me? Like they didn't want to pay him, and Harden did drag them boys up out the fucking gutter. Dame, same thing. Like Portland was going nowhere. Like LaMarcus Aldridge left them because he wasn't fucking with them. Like he left to go to San Antonio, the team with Kawhi, because he trusted like what they could become, and he got to the same amount as Western Conference Finals as Damian Lillard once they split.
And Miami could sure use a player like that right now, huh? Like a James Harden type of player. Does anybody know if there's a player like that available?
Yeah, James Harden.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know that. I'm a huge Mickey Harrison fan, so I was led to believe that no one was available. That's my bad. That's on me for being a little frugal. That's my mistake.
Want to thank my boy HM with the $5 dono. He said, hell, Caleb Martin was better than Jimmy 2 in the ECF. I agree. Zero Bell with the $4.99 dono. He said, I agree with most of y'all about these finals runs being a team effort, but just like a car needs all its components to work, Jimmy is clearly the engine. Jimmy is the engine for, like, if you talked to me during the bubble run, I would have told you Goran Dragic was the engine of that team because he was the most consistent player that they had going out there from night to night. If you would have told me that Jimmy was the engine that second year Jimmy was here, that's cool because they got their ass bounced in the first round anyway. If you told me Jimmy's the engine the third year, I'm with that because he carried that playoff series. You tell me Jimmy was the engine last year, I have a hard time. Like maybe in Milwaukee, maybe a little bit in New York. But was he the engine in Boston? No. Was he the engine against Denver? No. So, like, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, Jimmy has been our best player for 3 out of the 4 years that he's been here. Or the 5 now at this point. He was the best player for 3 out of 5 years. And people seem to think that works in perpetuity. Bam has passed him as the best player on this team. Like, he's been the best player.
Absolutely. Yeah. Bro, you can't you can't discount like the regular season night in and night out, bro. Like this man, like literally controlling the defense. Like he does, like everything, he funnels everything. Offensively, he funneled everything, bro. Like Jimmy's first year, like the regular season, it was Bam and Duncan. Like that was our offense. Like if you keeping it a beam,
because Jimmy was passing that bitch underneath the
like
rim.
A motherfucker.
K9,
like, bro, Eric John Spoelstra, bro. Like
he's a madman. Want to thank Scale Daddy again, Nasty Man with the $5 dono. Said that's why Harden should be on the motherfucking Heat. He didn't say motherfucking. I said so. But front office was killing this team. Hey, bro, look, I told you already, bro. These folks don't want to win for real. Scared that again with the $2 dono. He said Jimmy an engine with 145,000 miles on it and some oil leaks. I think so too, bro. But I don't know, dog. Like I don't want to keep talking about Jimmy Butler in this manner because we still have to deal with him, and we're going to deal with these narratives throughout the course of the entire season. So we can just have more of these conversations later on. Miami is taking on the Timberwolves tomorrow. So we need to get over here so that we can get ready for that shit. Let's start with LJ. LJ, the boy feeling good?
Nigga, you got film to watch?
No, brother. My wife, it's homecoming. It's homecoming for FAMU up here in Tallahassee. My wife is out. My son upstairs. My brother just pulled up. Like I gotta do some of the festivities, gang. You know what I'm saying? The boy feeling good, LJ?
Yeah, I gotta go watch the all 10 film of this game. So I gotta dip out. But no, it's in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
When's the last time the Heat won in Minnesota?
Don't know.
The silence is deafening.
When Barack was president.
Yeah, the silence is madly deafening. They're not winning in Minnesota.
Scared that again with the $2 dono. He said Jimmy a doggone Toyota, a freaking Honda Accord. Come on now. Them classics.
He's a Civic, man. He's a 90s Civic. Like that shit's gonna get you where you need to go at the end of the day, but it ain't pretty. It's ugly.
That been gonna run for 25 years though, LJ. And so you got to take them where you can get them. Alex Campbell again with the $4.99 dono said, I'm gonna be honest, I love Dame, but he has a lot of terrible playoff series, way more than good ones. That's because he's never been coached by Eric John Spoelstra. I'm trying to tell y'all, Jimmy Butler was not Jimmy Butler before he got coached by Spo. I don't know. I take it a step further. LeBron James was not LeBron James before he was coached by Spo. So, like, you got to factor that in. If we want to talk about culture, you got to put some of these hyper talented people, top 75 talent types, into the conversation with Spoelstra, and then see what you can cook up. Don't judge them based off of what they did with people named Terry Stotts. Ant, the boy feeling good?
Yeah, so I was able to find the numbers here. The Heat have won 2 out of their last 10 matchups versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't even know who the fuck they got over there anymore besides that French bum. But no, he'll kill us tomorrow because the Heat are going to start 4 people at one point who's 6'4" and under. I'm going to smash the Gobert over and probably take the money line on the Timberwolves as well.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Unlike Bubba, I actually be liking your picks when it comes to like over and unders and shit, brother, because you have like logic behind yours. Bubba just be throwing shit out there and hoping it stick. Shelton, the boy feeling good?
For my agenda, yes. I picked this as a trap game. I think they will lose. I had them starting the season 1-3. First 10, I have them 6-4, and this was a loss. I don't know why. Back-to-backs, Anthony Edwards on the road. Feel like they probably over-prepared for Boston, under-prepared for Minnesota. They're going to lose both. How dare you, Anthony DiNardo, forget about Anthony Edwards? The French guy. That's the only guy that comes to mind in Minnesota?
That's because Anthony Edwards is already on the Heat and Ant's mind.
He's in it. Thank you, LJ.
If that's what you're on to, then I respect it because that's where I think that's where we're all headed. Hopefully, we all know it's not going to happen though. If Pat and Mickey will fumble that, they might be 96 years old each, but they will find a way. The boy is not feeling good. If I'm trying to see the Heat win, I don't think they're going to win. Yeah.
The boy scaled down with a $5 dono say Ant Edwards about to make an adult film tomorrow with Miami guard defense. Brother, listen. He's going to do that even if we had good defenders. That man is a dog. I don't know which one of you Negroes I want to go to first.
Ladies first.
No, the girl feeling good?
Absolutely. Win or loss, I'm alive. I'm spending time with my family tonight. I feel great. The Heat couldn't care less. Bam will have a good game, and that'll make me happy. So, yeah, I'm feeling great.
I think that's one of the things that I want to see. I want to see if Bam kind of continues this trend of like aggressiveness when he's facing the 2 7-footers over there in Minnesota. Kendall, the boy feeling good?
It's time for
Kendall's Negroes Stat of the Night.
Presented by Simple Health Advisors.
All right. Shout out to whoever played it. Ladies and gentlemen, I lied last show. Well, not last show. I lied in the chat. Oh, brother. I was watching the game. I had the Bills and Bucks on the big TV because football comes first. And on this here laptop, I had, the Sixers and the Bucks playing. Oh, so the Buccaneers and the Buck, yeah, so 2 Bucks. But yeah, so the Bucks is doing their thing. And then Philly made a comeback, and Philly was up like 6 or so. And it was like 4 minutes left. And there was this Negro by the name of Damian Lillard decided to say, had a I wouldn't even call it an out of body experience. Had a regular walk in the park, if you would,
everyday occurrence, if you will.
Everyday
we call
struggle.
that Monday.
Yeah, 14 points. 14 points in the last 4 minutes. The running back in Milwaukee no longer has to worry about making not a one play in clutch time. While I'm over here watching Kevin Love and Tyler Herro fire off threes, it's nasty. But yeah, that's a Negro stat of the night. Dame put up 14 in the last 4 minutes. In terms of feeling good, I'm content. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Much like new, hopefully, you know, my boy Bam keep trying to hoop. Hopefully Tyler keep doing his thing. Cool, you know what I'm saying? He gonna have a bad game. You know, inconsistency consistency is key, people. And he is not consistent. Jaden McDaniels or whatever his name is, who just got like 145 mil or some shit. Yeah, that boy got them symbiote arms. For I2. All right then, freak nasty. But for I too believe that this will be a loss. Yeah. But we got a good slate of college football tomorrow, so y'all boys tune in. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't see the Heat winning, like having that oomph. And Ant said only the Frenchman is over there. Someone mentioned Ant Edwards, but I gotta give a shout out to my man Threat. Big Purr. Her. KAT is on that roster.
And we'll be guarded by Kevin Love.
I saw that man throw up a floater against Toronto. That announcer said, "Oh my God." Hey, Big Purr is over there. You know what I'm saying? Fuck is you talking about?
Yeah, so I agree with most of it. Like the main thing about that Dame shit, bro, is that shit looks so easy, and we could have had it. Not gonna hold you. Like that shit. It's like he was just waiting. Ball. Bro, listen, bro. He played so good. Giannis said this was Dame team after one game.
And I believe it. I don't think he
I don't think he was capping either. I think he looked at the man and was like, all right, we can do this. If you lead us, Dame.
You got something. I got something you want.
Come on now.
I done did it already.
And I'm finna follow you anyway. But yeah, I'm with y'all, brother. I'm at peace. You know, I'm Zen like. You feel me? Nam yo ho renge kyo type shit. You feel me? You know why? Because I know what's about to happen tomorrow. The Heat about to blow that shit out. Fuck is you talking about? Don't give a fuck about Cat. Don't give a fuck about that baguette Rudy Gobert over there. Don't give a fuck. What? That he's a baguette? Hey, brother, it's a French dish.
It's just like the way.
Yeah. You feel me?
We're walking the line. We're walking the line.
Oh, I think you need to be the last one to talk about walking the line.
Come on now, brother.
Al Mahmoud.
That was not me. That was the other white man.
Either way, yeah, but either way, I think for real, I do think Tyler Herro gonna get strapped up, but I think Bam is gonna have a phenomenal game. I think he does continue this trend of aggressive play. I think he ought to prove a point, bro. He wants that supermax, and he's gonna do whatever is necessary to do that, to get that. And I just think he's gonna continue to assert himself as the best player on this team. And if he does that, then the season is a success for me. Win, lose, draw, but I do think that he's gonna win this game. Don't have a logical reason for believing that, but I like what Bam's been doing, and I hope to see a lot more of it. So thank you guys in the comments, as always, for joining the show, making it much more fun than it would have been without you. Shout out to the boy Ant for hosting 44 minutes. You get to be in the top spot for a couple seconds. Well, shout out to the boy Ant hosting the show. I couldn't let him finish because he was getting on my nerves. Shout out to Alex Sheltman. Shout out to the boy LJ. Shout out to both members of the Kang Gang, my dog New, and, of course, my dog Kendall. We will see y'all tomorrow. Some of us will not. But yeah, make sure y'all tune in. Justin's not back there. Hold on. Let me get to my shit.